Tell me today what happened today.
The court had held a brief hearing in regards to whether or not Ms. Baukus is entitled to a free transcript of the trial. She has filed an affidavit that she's indigent, and the judge, I assume, wanted to hear evidence on that because currently her appellate attorneys are retained. They're hired. They're not appointed. They're not being paid for by the county. Typically someone who is indigent has an appointed attorney as well. Mike McDougal, who was Baukus' trial attorney, was appointed because she was indigent at the time of trial. Earlier, initially on her case, she had hired two very qualified attorneys, and they had been retained, and they were allowed to withdraw from the case because apparently she wasn't paying them in accordance with whatever their fee contract was. After that, she was found to be indigent. Mr. McDougal was appointed. He represented her through the trial. Now on appeal, apparently her family has paid for William Carter and Frank Blazek to represent her, and so she's asking for a free appellate record, a free transcript of the trial, which is something that usually costs anywhere from $5,000 to maybe $10,000 because it's a week-long trial. The judge has reviewed some case law that the defense has provided and going to make a decision on it, and that's really about. Ms. Baukus was briefly called to the stand and testified about the lack of assets that she has to put on, for the defense to put on further evidence of her indigency. I was allowed to briefly question her about how much her family was paying her attorneys, but that was pretty much all of the testimony that was put on today.
Okay.
My name is Steve Zyra.
Steve, and how are you related to the case?
I'm David Forrest's brother.
Okay. Tell me, having to go through this again now with this appeal process, what's it doing to the family?
Well, we respect the law. We respect everybody's right to an appeal. We respect the judge and any decision that he might make. But we are looking forward to putting this behind us, to finding closure. The whole experience of the trial, the legal proceedings hanging over our heads, it's very stressful. Having to relive the events of that night, it's very difficult for all of us. And once we put the trial and the appeal behind us, I think we'll be able to focus more on the healing process.
How is he doing right now?
David's recovering well. Still has some things he needs to work through, range of motion, one or two more surgeries, but he's recovering nicely.